Pringles chips are shaped like horse saddles for a reason. That curve isn't just for looks. It's advanced math disguised as a snack, the same shape NASA uses for rockets. And it came from a soap company's happy accident. You're about to find out why the most perfect chip had to be engineered instead of grown. Trust me, after this, you'll taste the geometry in every single bite. Back in the 1960s, potato chips were a total mess. They came in bags where half the chips were crushed. They went stale fast. Some were thick, others were paper thin. You never knew what you were getting. The big company Procter Gamble looked at this chaos and said, "We can do better." But they weren't chip makers. They made soap and toothpaste. Still, they had a wild idea. What if they could engineer the perfect chip? Their goal was simple but crazy. Make chips that were all exactly the same. Make them stack perfectly. Make them impossible to break. Keep them fresh for months. Oh, and make them taste amazing too. They put a chemist named Fredric Baur in charge. Not a chef, not a chip expert. A scientist who studied molecules and chemicals. Because this wasn't going to be about cooking. This was going to be pure math. Here's where it gets wild. Baur didn't just make a new chip. He created something called a hyperbolic paraboloid. Sounds scary, right? Don't worry, you know exactly what it looks like because you've eaten thousands of them. It's the shape of a saddle. Imagine sitting on a horse. The saddle curves up near your legs but curves down from front to back. That's the exact shape of every Pringles chip. And it turns out this weird shape is basically magic. Why? Because it's the strongest shape you can make with the least amount of stuff. Think about it. If you try to crush a Pringles chip the long way, it's super hard. But if you push on the sides, it breaks easy. That's not an accident. That's math. Architects use this same shape to build roofs that won't collapse. Engineers use it for bridges. And Baur figured out how to use it for chips. The curve makes each chip incredibly strong while using hardly any potato at all. Try this at home. Take a flat piece of paper and try to hold something heavy on top. It bends right away. Now curve that same paper into a saddle shape. Suddenly, it can hold way more weight. Same stuff, different shape, totally different strength. Here's the really crazy part. Pringles aren't actually made from sliced potatoes. They're made from potato powder mixed with water. The mixture gets pressed into those perfect curved molds while it's still soft. Then it gets cooked into that exact saddle shape. This means every single Pringles chip is identical. Not similar. Identical. The curve is exactly the same every time. The thickness is exactly the same. The size is exactly the same. It's like having a factory that makes perfectly identical snowflakes. The molds have to be heated to exactly the right temperature. The pressure has to be exactly right. The timing has to be perfect. 1 degree too hot or 1 second too long and the chips come out wrong. It's more like making computer parts than making food. And that famous tall cylinder they come in? That's not just packaging, that's engineering too. The saddle shape means the chips nest together perfectly. They stack like bowls. No wasted space, no broken pieces rattling around. Maximum chips, minimum air. Remember playing with building blocks as a kid? Square blocks stack great. Round blocks roll all over the place. Flat blocks tip over. But saddle-shaped blocks? They lock together like puzzle pieces. That's exactly what happens inside a Pringles can. Each chip sits perfectly in the curve of the chip below it. They can't slide around. They can't tip over. They're basically glued together by geometry. This is why you get that satisfying pop when you open a fresh can. All those chips are pressed together so perfectly that air can't get between them. When you break the seal, you're literally breaking apart a geometric structure. The cylinder shape of the can isn't random either. Circles are the strongest shape for holding pressure. The chips are locked inside a mathematical fortress that protects them better than any bag ever could. Now here's where it gets really interesting. That saddle shape doesn't just make the chips strong and stackable. It makes them taste better too. When you put a Pringles chip in your mouth, the curve fits perfectly on your tongue. It's like the chip was designed for the inside of your mouth. Because it basically was. The curve gives your taste buds maximum contact with the chip surface. Flat chips sit on your tongue like a board. Round chips roll around. But the saddle shape cradles your tongue and delivers flavor to every single taste bud at once. It's like the difference between dipping your finger in paint versus rolling your whole hand in it. The curve also controls how the chip breaks. When you bite it, it shatters in a very specific way that creates the perfect crunch. Not too hard, not too soft, just right. And here's something cool. The shape makes you eat them differently. With regular chips, you grab a handful and munch away. With Pringles, the shape makes you eat them one at a time. Slower, more deliberately. You actually taste each one instead of mindlessly crunching through a bag. When Pringles hit stores in the 1970s, people didn't know what to think. They didn't look like chips. They didn't come in bags. They tasted different. Some people loved them immediately. Others thought they were weird. But slowly, something amazing happened. People realized these weren't just different chips. They were better chips. They never broke. They never went stale. Every bite was exactly the same as the last. And once you started eating them, it was really hard to stop. The slogan, "Once you pop, you can't stop," isn't just marketing. It's geometry. The perfect shape, the perfect crunch, the perfect fit in your mouth, all combine to create what scientists call hedonic escalation. Basically, each bite makes you want the next one even more. Other chip companies panicked. They tried to copy the shape but couldn't figure out the manufacturing. They tried different shapes but nothing worked as well. Pringles had basically used math to build a better mousetrap, except the mousetrap was for people who love crunchy snacks. Today, Pringles sells billions of cans every year in over 140 countries. That saddle shape is one of the most recognizable food shapes on Earth. Kids who have never seen a real saddle know exactly what a Pringles chip looks like. The success of Pringles launched a whole new category of engineered foods. Companies realized they could use science and math to create things that were better than natural versions. It's why we have perfectly round Cheerios, identically twisted Cheetos, and uniformly crimped Ruffles. Food scientists now study the Pringles shape in universities. Engineers use it as an example of perfect design, and kids learn about hyperbolic paraboloids by eating them for lunch. Fredric Baur was so proud of his mathematical masterpiece that, when he died in 2008, his family honored his wish. They buried some of his ashes in a Pringles can. The man who turned geometry into a snack took his creation with him to the grave. So the next time you pop open a can of Pringles, remember what you're really doing. You're not just opening a snack, you're opening a math textbook. Every chip is a lesson in engineering, physics, and geometry. Every bite is proof that sometimes the most complex problems have the most elegant solutions. That weird saddle shape that seems so simple? It's the result of thousands of hours of calculations, experiments, and pure scientific thinking. It's advanced mathematics disguised as junk food. It's rocket science you can eat for $1. Who knew that the most perfect chip would come from the most imperfect shape? A shape that curves up and down at the same time. A shape that's strong and delicate simultaneously. A shape that proves sometimes the best answers come from thinking completely differently about the question. The next time someone tells you math isn't useful in real life, hand them a Pringles chip. Because inside that crispy, salty, perfectly curved snack is some of the most practical math ever created. Math that changed how we think about food, packaging, manufacturing, and snacking. And the best part? You don't need to understand hyperbolic paraboloids to enjoy them. The math works whether you know it's there or not. That's the real genius of Pringles. They took the complicated stuff and made it invisible, leaving behind only the delicious part. Sometimes the most brilliant innovations are the ones that hide their brilliance behind something simple and fun. Like turning advanced geometry into the perfect potato chip. Now that's what we call smart snacking.